And once it was all set up and ready to go, I was set out to the streets of Shibuya. Growing up, I always saw pictures of Gyaru girls and I just thought they just looked so sick. Hey guys, konnichiwa, it is Kazumi-chan. I want to talk about one of my favorite places on earth, Shibuya in Tokyo. In Japan, which is my favorite country in the whole wide world, and one of my favorite experiences ever, which was turning into a Gyaru. A Gyaru is a type of subculture, kind of like a type of fashion sense that kind of originated in the late 90s, early 2000s in Tokyo, of kind of this like rebellious look. It's no secret that in Japan, or in Asia in general, the standards of beauty are a little bit different than they are in westernized society. Asian cultures, it's typically very beautiful to be very thin, very pale, and very young looking, and kind of like a little bit more demure, a little bit more conservative, and generally kind of lean towards being cute or kawaii, which is cute in Japanese, by the way. Gyaru kind of came as like a counterculture during a time where I felt like a lot of Japanese female youth, especially like young adults, wanted to kind of like rebel against the status quo, show some type of independence in terms of just being like, you know what, I want to look however the heck I want to look, no matter what you think. So the Gyaru look is very like boisterous. It's very almost obnoxious, some people would say, because it's very loud. It's super colorful, lots of bright neon colors, lots of leopard print, lots of like different clashing textures like fur or denim, or maybe even both of them at the same time. Really, really big eyelashes, really, really big hair, typically blonde, dyed, and really dark kind of tan skin. You know, in a world where you're kind of a little bit more celebrated for being a little bit more demure and more conventional, having a look like that is kind of brave in a way. Like, it's freaking cool. In America, we have a similar kind of counterculture called ABGs, which is Asian baby girl, and it's also super, super similar. It's Asian girls who kind of look a little different than the normal Asian. They have blonde hair, eyelashes, tan skin. I obviously feel a little aligned to the Gyaru fashion since I'm basically the westernized version of that. But coming to Shibuya, I went to this super cool little studio called PPP Gal. They had me choose my makeup, they had me choose my wig, they had me choose different types of outfits, and once it was all set up and ready to go, I was set out to the streets of Shibuya. We went straight to Shibuya Crossing, which is that super famous busy street and intersection where there's just hundreds of people walking every single day, and we just ripped it. We did a whole photo shoot all on the streets, holding different types of props like fake ice cream cones, magazines, playing with a telephone, and it was just really cool because growing up, I always saw pictures of Gyaru girls and I just thought they just looked so sick. Something really cool about Japan is that even though the culture is kind of shy, a lot of like the ways they express themselves visually through fashion are really bold. And it's cool to just kind of like role play like what that looks like for me. I've done other things in Japan, like I once did a day in Asakusa where I was dressed up as a geisha, or like, you know, in a traditional kimono yukata. And then I did another day where I was in Harajuku dressed up as a traditional Harajuku girl. I feel like the way I model in America or in like Europe is typically a lot of the same poses because, you know, the character I want to embody is very like womanly and sexy, and I wouldn't necessarily say mature, but I want to say she looks and feels confident. But when I was a Gyaru in Japan, I felt like I almost wanted to be shy and I wanted to pose like kind of playfully and just and just be cute. Like, I felt like the poses I was doing weren't really poses I would do in a typical, like, let's say like high fashion shoot in New York or like a bikini shoot on the beach. Like, I was posing like a cute little anime girl, like just, I don't know, it felt cool to just kind of like, I was totally selling a new character. And one of my favorite things about traveling is seeing the different types of versions of myself that could exist. Like when I'm in Berlin, I'm like super grunge, super edgy. When I'm in France, I'm like a fairy and I want to feel light and cute and like dainty. And in Japan, like I wanted to feel like bold. Like I wanted to feel like, you know, In Japan, I typically dress in a lot of streetwear, like big pants and like tiny shirts and really cool sneakers. I feel like their culture there just really appreciates like this kind of like universal language of fashion. I feel like fashion is inherently rebellious, and when I kind of get comfortable with a new character, I love transforming into that. I feel like for me, like a Gyaru girl is kind of like the most similar to like what I would probably look like in an alternate dimension. So it was super duper fun to just transform for a day and feel like a little doll and just be a different character. That was my time in Tokyo. I hope you guys learned a lot about the history of Gyarus and about the aesthetics of that type of fashion sense and that movement. And if you guys want to see more, you guys know where to go. Please like, comment, and subscribe.